friends and family. This is a video that our family has put together to show off some of the things that the kids have learned in their school programs this year. We were impacted by the coronavirus and missed a lot of our second semester, just like many other people around the world, but we wanted to have a place to celebrate and share. So we've made some videos of the kids reciting some of the memory work they've learned this year or showing some projects. One of the programs that we do is called Classical Conversations, and that's the classical model of education. So at the ages that we are right now, the kids are focusing mostly on memorizing facts and building memory hooks that they can use in the future for all of their subjects. So that's the core of what we do. We also are involved in some other co-ops and do some other curriculum and studies, which we'll showcase in the second part of our video. So we just want you to know that we're so proud of the kids, and this is kind of a way for us to remember all of the things that we've done. And when you put the whole year together, it's just kind of amazing what a kid can do in a year. So we want to share it with you, and we hope you enjoy it. Hey Corin, could you tell us something about what our family does most mornings?
Yeah, we do a thing called Bible time when we write down a verse and we read a Bible
chapter.
A chapter of the Bible. We've finished two Gospels now. We've finished John and Matthew, and we've finished 3 books.
Yes.
And the last book is Proverbs, and I'm going to read you some verses that I've done. We do the verses inside some chapters. So the one I did yesterday with some help with my mom, I did 2 actually, because they were really inspiring to me when Jesus was in the tomb. There was a violent earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow. Matthew 28, verse 2 to 3.
Very good.
That's the verses I did.
Corin, can you tell me about the timeline subject in CC?
Yeah, so I learned about a timeline subject that was 13 minutes long and 4 seconds. It had things like Eric Erickson and lots of things. There's timeline cards you can get, but I'm going to be singing the president, and it's going to be some questions.
So you learned a 13-minute and 2-second song? 4-second song about history, all of it, and now you're going to sing the U.S. presidents in order. Okay.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Samuel, and Harrison, Tyler, Polk, and Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, and Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, and Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, and Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump. It's for him we pray.
Nice work.
So we also do science in CC, and one of my favorite science sentences are probably Newton's first through third law. Hit it! Newton's first law of motion states that an object at rest tends to remain at rest. Then an object in motion tends to continue moving in a straight line at constant speed unless an outside force acts upon it. And we also do experiments every week. Cue the video, Mom! So we're doing an egg drop, which is where you drop an egg in a vehicle that you made from a certain distance. We are up on our 3rd floor, which is about 30 feet high, maybe more. And I made this vehicle to put my egg in. container to put my egg in. So my egg is right there, which is cushioned by tissues and inside of a half carton. I made a parachute, which is a trash bag taped to the carton, and that should break its fall to where the egg won't break. So I'm going to drop it down and see how it goes.
All right. Let's see.
Okay.
I couldn't see that far. It's down there. Let's see what happens.
So I'll go down and I'll check it. I dropped it down and the egg did not break. Probably because of how the parachute took the air that it was falling by and filled up, which slows it down. And
Yay, physics.
yeah, we made pads down at the bottom with the measuring egg. So we filled it with tissue and then taped it. And that broke its fall as well.
You sound a little out of breath. Why is that?
Because I ran up the stairs 2 by 2.
So in CC, we're also learning verb endings in singular and plural in Latin. And Corin is going to demonstrate a few of these endings. So Corin, can you tell us the first conjugation endings present tense?
O-S-T, mustis and O-S-T, mustis and O-S-T, mustis empty, first conjugation, present tense.
Great job. Could you tell us the first conjugation endings imperfect tense?
Yeah. Bomba spot, bomba spot to spawn, bomba spot, bomba spot to spawn, first conjugation, no.
Imperfect.
Yeah, imperfect tense.
Good job. Hard to remember, huh?
Oh, yeah.
History is one of my favorite subjects, so I'm going to sing a couple history songs about the wars that my great-grandpas fought in.
Emil, could you tell us how World War II began?
World War II began in 1939 when Hitler invaded Poland. 2 engagements that helped the United States win the Pacific Front were defeating Japan at the Battle of Midway and dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945.
Can you tell us about the World War II leaders?
World War II Axis leaders were Hitler of Germany, Tojo of Japan, and Mussolini of Italy. World War II Allied leaders were Churchill of England, Roosevelt, Eisenhower, and MacArthur of the United States, and Stalin of the USSR.
And can you tell us about the United Nations?
Yeah. In 1945, after the League of Nations failed to prevent World War II, American President Roosevelt, British Prime Minister Churchill, and Soviet Premier Stalin began the United Nations.
And can you tell us about the Korean War?
Sure. In 1950, General Douglas MacArthur led United Nations forces to stop Communist North Korea from capturing all of South Korea during the Korean War.
Thanks, Emil.
You're welcome.
Corin's going to tell us one of the things we learned in English this year.
So I learned about 8 parts of speech. And the song goes like this. 8 parts of speech. 8 parts of speech. Woo! 8 parts of speech. 8 parts of speech. Woo! Now pronoun. Verb, adverb. Conjunction, interjection, preposition, adjective. Woo!
Here's Corin again, and he's going to tell us a little bit about geography in CC, but first I'll tell you that we have learned about 120 locations around the world this year. And Corin's going to tell you what he thinks about geography.
Don't like geography that much. So I'm going to show you 3 countries that I do like that we do in geography, and it'll be fun. So if you come to another side, there's a colorful map. This one's colorful too, but it's a little harder, so I would go here. But there is some countries that I really like, and they are Czechia and Slovakia, and that's where the Sztanyo name came from with our ancestors. And then the last one I want to talk about is Thailand. Our friends are going to move there. In CC, we learned a lot of math this year. We learned skip counting from 1 to 15. We learned geometry songs, and we learned algebra, some laws for algebra. So I'm going to sing the geometry songs and say one of the algebra laws. The area of a rectangle equals length times width. The area of a square equals length of side squared a square. The area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height. The area of a circle equals pi times the radius squared. The circumference of a circle equals 2 times pi times the radius. Geometry, geometry. Let's learn some geometry. Now I'm going to do the distributive law. The distributive law states A times opening parenthesis, B plus C closing parenthesis equals A times B plus A times C.
Nailed it. Corin's going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on his tin whistle. Great job. Emil is going to be playing The Hobbit on his tin whistle.
CC, we also love recess, and we love our class, but the most thing we love, snack time. It's snacks!
What's your name?
Rafe, R-A-F-E.
That's right. Rafe has learned how to spell some this year and how to write lots of letters. He's in a class at CC. What's your class, Rafe?
The nursery. Do we have
Who are your teachers?
Miss Allison, Miss Brooke.
Yeah, what do you do in nursery?
I help Miriam be brave.
What else do you do in there?
I make friends. And I always have a friend named Gavin.
You do? And do you make crafts?
Mm-hmm.
And what else do you do in nursery? Sing songs?
Yes. This little I don't mind.
That's a good one.
Sometimes I do a craft, and here's one.
Good job, Rafe. Are those from CC?
Yes, they're from my CC co-op.
Can you say herbivore,
Herbivore,
carnivore,
carnivore,
and omnivore?
and omnivore. I left my watch and I'm learning about time.
What time is it?
11:36.
Great job, Rafe. What is this?
It's my letter backpack.
What do you...
Because any of these colorful buttons,
Uppercase letters.
these are my letters of my name, R-A-F-E.
That's very good.
This is a very big E right here.
Good job. So you're learning to write and you're learning letter sounds?
Yes.
Keep
Okay.
practicing.
My first R name is R.
Let's write it.
Make a giant P. And then write one right here.
Great work.
This is my name, R-A-F-E.
Miriam, who's your teacher?
Frolic.
Miss Brooke. And who else?
Alfred.
Miss Allison. Do you like your class?
I'm not shy.
You're not shy?
No.
Good. Are you brave in class? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing with me? Very good. Miriam, can you count for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8,
9,
10,
11,
12,
12,
13,
14, 16, 17,
18.
19,
Then what?
9,
20?
22.
22? Good job, Miriam. That's so good. Do you know this little light of mine?
No, I'm not Bambi.
You not remember?
No.
So here's part 2 of our video, and in this part we're going to focus on everything other than classical conversations. We did something called the Help Co-op, which the kids love. We did a lot of other curriculum and activities, and we don't even have time to include it all here. Some of the things we did were language arts, spelling, a lot of reading, which at our house is not a chore. You will often find the kids with a good book in their hands. We also did lots of art activities and learning apps and those kinds of things. But in this section, you'll see a couple more things that the kids are really proud of. And also wanted to mention that I've helped reinforce most of the things at home, but they have awesome teachers at the co-ops that they go to. And Daddy was their math teacher for the first year, which they loved. So good job, Daddy, and thanks for doing that. Yeah, we're really proud of the kids, and we came a long way because this was our second year homeschooling, and our first year was pretty difficult, really tough to kind of get in the groove. But this year, it felt like we kind of found our sweet spot, and it went a lot better. And I think everybody by the end of the year was really enjoying it. So we've come a long way as a family and in our education. So good job, kids.
I'm going to tell you about what I did for math this year. I did Math UC, which is a ton of math. You have 30 lessons. Each lesson takes about a week. I'm not very good at long division or checking it with multiplication, but I'm pretty good at fractions and Roman numerals. I also liked measuring the cubic feet and units.
Corin's going to share what he's been doing in Math UC this year, and his book this year was on multiple digit addition and subtraction. Corin, what were your favorite parts?
My favorite things that I've been doing was subtracting using a grouping, check by adding. I just really liked that one because it's sort of like a mystery because you're minusing lots of big numbers at the start, and then you take the numbers here and below, you add those two, and it comes to the top number.
And then you figure out if you solve the mystery, right?
So we took another co-op during homeschool, and this one's called Help, where we take a couple classes. So like zoology, musical theater, and IAW. IAW is the Institute for Excellence in Writing, and I have the introduction for it. So you write a paragraph with different clauses and words, there's one session with just paragraphs. There's another with 3 paragraphs. There's one where you write a story from pictures, and there's poetry session. So there are a lot of things that you need to write. There are a lot of like extras that you need to write in your paragraphs. But in the end, it's very rewarding because Miss Shepherd gives you a piece of candy.
Can you tell us about your portfolio?
Yeah, so I have like 20 outlines in it in 4 poems that I wrote by myself, but you typed them out. And in all, I really liked this class, and I think it's going to help me get ready for essentials. So this is our second year in help, and this year I had 3 classes. One is writing to help me get ready for essentials, but my all-time favorite is probably musical theater junior. I really liked this class because I got to test out my vocal cords and my musical ability, and this was the first time I got auditioned, and I have a lot of lines. I'm Pinky.
What are you holding there, Pinky?
Pirates Pass Noon script. But because of the coronavirus, we won't be able to do the play this year. So we're going to practice it all next year and have the play next year too, instead of having a different one. I really liked this class because I got to make a bunch of new friends. And I got to rehearse a lot. So we did zoology this year, which is the study of animals. And we had Miss Fenhoff, who taught us astronomy last year. And so our first semester we did flying creatures, and our second semester we did sea creatures. And we have to do an end-of-year presentation, so I'm going to share that. So I did something from the first semester. I did 10 barn owl facts. So I'll share those. Number 1, barn owls eat voles, shrews, mice, and sometimes rats. Number 2, food is often swallowed whole. Fur and bone bits are then regurgitated or coughed up and are turned into owl pellets. 3, barn owls screech, they never hoot. Number 4, the Latin scientific name for a barn owl is Tyto alba alba. Number 5, barn owls have very long legs, toes, and talons to help catch prey in tall grass. Number 6, barn owls usually hunt at night. Even in pitch black darkness, they can find the smallest rodent with their strong hearing. Number 7, barn owls have very sharp vision. They can spot a mouse in a gloomy barn. Number 8, barn owls' feathers are really soft. This helps them hunt silently. However, they are not waterproof. They get soaked when it rains. Number 9, barn owls have lopsided ears. One is higher than the other, and that helps them pinpoint where sounds are coming from. And 10, a wild barn owl usually eats 4 small rodents a night. That's about 1,460 per year. And I have a life cycle for a barn owl.
Can you walk it up close?
Yeah.
This is Corin, and he would like to do his zoology presentation for the end of the year. First, he's going to tell us about his favorite sea creature, but that's not what his whole presentation is about.
My favorite sea creature this semester was sharks, and I have a shark tooth. My babysitter Shelby gave me. She lives in Florida now. She made a little story about it, and so she said she wrestled with a shark and ripped out a tooth with her bare hand, if you believe that story. But I'm going to be presenting on something else this year.
All right, Corin, could you share your presentation about the sea creature you want to present on?
Yeah, I'm going to be presenting on starfishes, and I have these little mini things Shelby gave me too. They were real starfishes, but now they're dead. So I'm going to tell you some facts about starfishes. And so the common name of a starfish is called a sea star. The scientific name is Astroia. They are invertebrates and carnivores. They live on an average of 35 years. They usually measure 4.7 to 9.4 inches and can weigh up to 11 pounds. Scientists have taken on the difficult task of replacing the starfish's name with sea star because, well, the starfish is not actually a fish. There are 2,000 species of sea stars, and some have 10, 20, or 40 arms. Many are camouflaged and have bony skin for protection. They are famous for their ability to regrow limbs or even entire bodies. Whoa, that's like a superpower. Most can eat outside of their bodies. They can send their stomach out of their shell and then bring it back. It's another superpower.
Welcome to Corin Sztanyo's art show. Corin, where did you make most of these art pieces?
I made most of them at Help.
In Mrs. Carabello's class?
Yeah, it's one of my co-ops I go to.
That's great. Can you tell us, please, about your 3 favorite pieces that you've created?
Yeah, I like this one because it shows you the opposite colors. When I went to the art class, I didn't know the opposite colors, so now I do because of this. So yellow and purple are opposites, red and green are opposites, and blue and orange are opposites.
Great. What's your next favorite piece?
My next one is this magic carpet. I really like it though, so I don't have any reasons really.
Have you played with it before?
Yes, I have. And I like the barn because you can open the doors and you see a pig and a mouse.
And who had a barn?
My great-grandpa and my great-grandma.
All right, Corin, let's look at a few more of the pieces that you made this year. So this one up here, what did you use to make this guy?
I used paint and crayons.
Very good. And what did you use to make this piece?
The abstract art,
Yes.
I used crayons, paint. No, I used oil pastels and paint.
Very good. And then Mommy really likes this one. I think it's beautiful with the flowers. Yeah.
Yes.
And then what did you learn about when you did this piece with the bear?
Bear? Oh yeah, I learned about texture. We used some texture plates to make him, and we used different colors of crayons.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing about the art you did this year. That was a lot of hard work.
I guess so.
So I use an app called Musician for the piano, and I'm going to play a song that I learned this year.
I'm brave and I'm practicing too.
Can you show us what you know how to play?
So here it goes.
Thanks for joining in on the end of school year celebration. We are so proud of you kids. You did a lot of really hard work and you're growing and you're learning and your little brains are expanding. And most of all, we're just really proud of the people you are because you're growing in wisdom and in character, and we just love the people you're becoming. So keep up the good work.